Shalom, shalom. On the start of this video, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone that rule well and teach well while learning truth 100% according to the Bible. I also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophets, servants scattered abroad at the four corners of the earth. And shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you few sisters out there that are sincere, your children, shalom. And in today's video, as you can see, is going to be building off of this video that I got here from the brother, the Hopeful Elect 3. And we're kind of going to just get straight into the video, allow it to play, and then I'll grab a few precepts and Abaratazai be edifying. But with that being said, fair use under the 1976 Copyright Act. I'm not getting paid for this video. This is for educational purposes only.
Hey, good morning. I'm going to tell you right now that this one's probably going to be a little depressing. So if you're already going through it enough on this Monday morning and you want to scroll on, go ahead. I've seen more than a couple of creators on here express the same thing that I'm feeling, and I know that a lot of other people, especially on the left, are feeling. And it's like this inescapable funk that we're all living in right now, and that, you know, we all know that we've been through tough times in the past. Why is this seem to be so much different? And I think, is my theory on it is even though we've all been through tough times in the past, even though things have been pretty bleak in the past, we've always kind of had like this hope in the background for a time in the future where things will pass and things will slowly improve. I think that keeps people's psyche leveled off. Like, you know that you can deal with this because someday things are going to get better.
Right. And we basically got a gist of what it is the guy's saying just for the little bit of the video I did allow to play. And that's exactly how a lot of these people here in America are feeling. They're hoping that things in this country could get better, right? But we know what the scripture says, and I'm actually pull it out. This is Ezekiel chapter 7, and I'm going to start at verse 25. It says, destruction cometh, right? Because that's ultimately what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is bringing. You see, and a lot of these people, they can sense it, they can feel it, but in reality, they don't want to accept it. You see that this place, America, is they know it is done because it is. You see, this place is not going to go back to the old days when things were good and, you know, everybody was happy. This place was full of mirth and everybody was celebrating. You see, those days of America are long gone, man. You see, and these people know it. You see, so it says destruction cometh and they shall seek peace. And there should be none. And that's what you see a lot of these people doing on the internet. They're begging and wanting for things to go back to normal. But it's not, man, because ultimately we're at the time of the end. And that's why you have all of these things ultimately happening. And the evils, right, meaning the bad times that are occurring, they're only going to continue to intensify and to get worse. Right. Because like I just said, we're at the time of the end. And I'm actually go to St. Matthew chapter 24. And I'm going to start at verse 3, right? Getting into the signs that ultimately our Lord Yahweh Shai left us to allow us to know that we are definitely in these times, man. Right? It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? What shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Right? And when you go into that word world in the Greek, it means aeon, right? Which is going into a period of time. So we're coming to the end of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man ruling the earth in wickedness. This man's rulership is going down, you see, and it's going to go down by violence, the same way it was established. You see, that's how the Lord is going to take this place down by, you know, the judgments he's about to pour out upon this place, America, and the world, you see. And it says, verse 4, and Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, right? Verse 5, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. Verse 6, and ye shall hear wars, right? And rumors of wars. You have all of these things ultimately going on now in the earth, man. You see, so this ultimately indicates what time and season we are in, right? That's how we know that things are only going to get worse. You see, from here on out, it's not going to get better. It says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, right? Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And there should be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, right? Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows, you see. So like I said, things are only going to continue to get worse from here on out. You see, people going to want for peace and good times and things like that to manifest. But that's not what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is ultimately bringing, right? What does it say in Matthew 10:34? It says to think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword, representing, calamities, destructions, evils. That's what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is bringing. And we are in these times and seasons where these things are manifesting, you see. So I'm going to get straight back into the video so we can ultimately just allow some more of the video to play. But yeah, this is the time and season that we're in where the Lord is only going to allow these evils to, to continue to increase, right? As it tells us right here, I'm going to grab that precept, 2 Esdras 14-16. For yet greater evils, right? So greater evils are coming. Then those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. So guess what? Each day that goes by here in America and in the world, things are going to get worse. You see, right when people think that things are going to slow down and go back to what they think is normal, guess what? Something else more worse than what they possibly could imagine is going to occur. You see, because this is the time that we're in, man, the time of judgment. Verse 17, for look how much the world shall be wicked through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein, which are talking about the people that dwell within the earth, right? So, yeah, this is the time that we are in, man. You see? So bear with me while I pull back up this video, right?
I think what we're dealing with right now is that we've had that hope replaced with dread. Because we know we're going through something really tough. Everything seems to be going downhill right now, and we're seeing things every single day that get worse and worse and worse. And we don't have a hope for the future. All we can see is that if things are this bad and have progressed this bad now, they're only going to be twice as bad next month and twice as bad the month after that.
Right. And you hear what he's saying, and he's absolutely right. Because what does the scripture say? I got to grab that. St. Matthew chapter 24, going down to verse 21, because this is the time that we're coming into. It says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. Right. So like I said, we're in the time in the beginning of, things happening that have never ultimately occurred in planet Earth. You see, we're in that time and season now where things are about to happen that people never experienced or never seen before in their lives, man. These are the things that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to allow to unleash upon planet Earth in these times, man. You see? And verse 22 says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So, like I said, things is only going to continue to intensify from here on out, man. Things are not going to get back normal, and things are just going to continue to get more uglier, man, out here in the earth. You see, more plagues are going to come upon places. You see, more evils, meaning bad times, are going to manifest. You see chaos. You see uncertainty. You see all of those different types of things, man. Right. As it tells us right here, I'm going to pull that out. Right. Because this is what's coming. I'm going to grab Luke chapter 21. And I'm going to start at verse 25, right, through the Spirit. And it says, and there should be signs in the sun and in the moon, right? We seeing all of those things occur now with all of these blood moons and eclipses and things like that are happening. The chariot sightings, right? It says, and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, right? The sea and the waves roaring. And that's what we see on planet Earth, man. You see, especially among the people, everybody is perplexed, man. Right. And I'm actually go to that word. Right. We're going to look up the definition of it. Right. On the AI overview on Google. Right. And it means, right, it means the inability to deal with or understand something complicated or unaccountable, you see, and that's exactly what's happening. You see, you go to the similar words, it goes into confusion, right? And that's all of these people here in this place, America, and in the world. You see, these people see ultimately all of these evils that are happening, but these people can't explain it. They don't know why these things are happening. You see, because ultimately Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not dealing with these people. They don't have the Holy Spirit. So they don't know that we're at the time of the end. That's why these things are occurring and manifesting. You see, but they're about to see that soon come, man. Like I said, when the Lord begins to ultimately allow these evils to increase and these judgments and things start to get worse, then these people are going to understand what time and season we're in. Because like I said, we're only in the beginning of sorrows. Everything that we see ultimately happening is nothing compared to what's to come. You see, this is back at Luke chapter 21. And I'm going to start at verse 26. It says, men's hearts fell in them for fear, because this is what's about to happen, man. When the Lord really does start to unleash the things that he has coming down the pipeline upon the earth, you see, people's hearts are going to fail them for fear, man. You see, just off of looking after the things that the Lord is bringing, because ultimately a lot of these people didn't believe that things like this would ever happen in their lifetime. A lot of these people don't believe that, the Bible is a real book. They think that these prophecies that are in these scriptures, you see, are fairy tales and that it'll never happen. But once these people begin to see these things actually occurring in their time, in their life, people going to be bugging out, man. And like I said, we see people already doing that now, just with the small things that are happening in here, like the food stamps getting ready to get cut and people being laid off left and right. That's nothing compared to what the Lord is about to unleash, man. You see? So it says men's hearts fell in them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And like I said, that's what's coming, man. The Lord about to shake this earth, man. You see, in all type of ways with various different judgments that he's about to unleash upon this place. You see? So, yeah, I'm going to grab another precept real quick, right? Because like I said, we're definitely coming into a time like none other, worse than anything ever known to man, worse than the times of Noah. You see, the first death, right, which was the flood. We're coming into times worse than that. Right. Worse than, the days of Lot in Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities that were utterly burnt. Right. The 5 neighboring cities. Right? We're coming into a time worse than that put together. You see, World War I, World War II, whatever people ultimately can think about that have occurred throughout history. They can combine these things together and it's still not about to amount up to what the Lord is about to bring, man. You see, that's why ultimately in these times that we're coming into, for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you're going to need Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. You're going to need the Lord. And you see, these times are upon us. You see, this won't happen 1,000 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, all of these different things that people like to tell themselves, because ultimately these people love being in that state of mind of things is going to get better. You see, that's what these people really believe in this place, man, that, things are going to go back to normal and, America is going to be great again. And, the evils are not going to come upon this place, you see. But, that's all fairy tales, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to judge this place, man. And he's already doing it in small scales, you see, but it's going to increase, you see. As it tells us right here, this is 2nd Esdras, chapter 16. And I'm going to go down to verse 37, right? And I bring this precept out a lot, but I mean, this is the time that we in. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, right? Because guess what? These plagues, these evils, these things that the Lord is about to, bring out upon planet Earth, guess what? They're not slack, man, because guess what? They're not going to slow down. Things are just going to continue to get worse and worse, right? Verse 38, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, right? Which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment, right? Verse 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. And that's all that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is ultimately about to bring upon the world, man, sorrows, right? And we're going to actually look up that word as well, right? Because this is what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is bringing. Sorrows, miseries, uncomfortableness, you see, judgment, right? And the meaning of the word, it goes into a feeling of deep distress caused by loss, disappointment, or other misfortunes suffered by oneself or others, right? And I'm going to go down. It goes into misery, right? And that's exactly what the Lord is about to bring, miseries, man. You see, what does it say in 2nd Esdras 8 and 50, right? I'm going to grab that precept real quick. And it says, for many great miseries shall be done to them, right? Talking about the people that in the latter time, which we're in that time now, that shall dwell in the world because they have walked in great pride. And majority of these people here in Babylon, the great America, are extremely proud, man. You see the men in this country, the women, you see, that's all they breathe and talk about, man. You see, you can tell by their behavior. These people are full of themselves, man, high-minded, arrogant. And guess what? That's the same reason why the Lord is putting the squeeze and bringing these, uncomfortable times upon these people, man. You see, and it's only going to get worse, right? As it tells us in 2 Timothy 3:1, this knowing also that in the last days perilous times should come, right? And we are definitely living in those times of uncertainty, man, where you don't ultimately know what's bound to happen, in the next minute or two from now, man. That's just how the days are, you see. But us hopeful elect brothers and sisters, we know these things because we know that we're living in the time of the end. And we know that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to bring these evils, man, you see. So I'm going to get back into the video and we're going to kind of just, watch the rest of it real quickly. And then I'll grab a few more precepts and that'll pretty much be the video, all right?
So our hope has been replaced by dread. When you look back to videos from last year or a couple of years ago I saw someone share a video from 2020 or 2021 with probably 2020 with empty shelves during right, the beginning. And you look back at that now and you think, fuck, as tough as things were then, they're fucking the good old days. Do you know what I mean? Like, seriously, you think about the things that you went through during, but like, at least we had competent people in the White House. At least we had not the greatest people, but at least competent adults running the show. At least there were investigations going on. They didn't materialize into anything. But at least we still had the law on our side back then, right? At least we knew that the law at least said that the things that were happening in the past were wrong and that those people should be prosecuted. Now it feels like we don't even have the law on our side. Like, sure, if you and I did any of the things that people like Trump and his administration were doing, we'd all go to jail, but those laws don't apply to them, right? So we don't even have that. We don't even have the law and the Constitution anymore to give us any hope for the future. And then on top of that, in the background is this knowledge that if we want to improve things, we're going to have to do it ourselves. And that's going to involve a lot of really ugly shit. Things that we never even imagined ourselves and our neighbors doing. But it's like this thing that you know is coming. And you don't really know what it's going to look like yet.
Right. And we hear what it is the guy's saying, and yeah, things are coming, man. You see? And I'm actually go back to 2nd Esdras chapter 16, right? Because ultimately I'm going to start up a little bit earlier in the chapter. These are exactly the things that are about to come to this place, America, man, as well as the world. It says, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? And this is ultimately the prophet Esdras, having a vision and seeing, you see, the things that are soon to come about to be occurring here in this place, Babylon the Great, in the world. You see, he's seen all of the evils taking place. He's seen what happened when, the food stopped coming in, when people started bugging out and losing their mind and looting and, all of the evil start, amplifying in this place. He's seen all of those things, man. You see? Verse 18, it says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine, right? Because all of these things are coming to America soon come, man, right? Food shortages, right? And great death, right? Because like I said earlier, we are in the time of judgment. So a lot of people are about to be deleted in these times, man. That's what's coming. The beginning of wars, right? Race wars, class wars, civil wars, gender wars, World War III, right? And the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, right? What shall I do when these evils shall come? You see, and for the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, we're going to put our trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you see, because that's ultimately going to be our only support in these times. The only way you're going to make it through what's coming is if the Lord is with you, you see. But this is verse 19. It says, behold, famine and plague, right? Tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a mimic, you see. So that's why the Lord is about to bring all of these things upon the world, you see, because of the wickedness that's happening, man, right? That's why the Lord is ultimately about to send out these judgments, man, because of the behavior of the people, man. But like I said, these people don't see that. And ultimately it's because we're at the end, man. You see, this man's rulership is going down, right? And the Lord is about to judge this place and all of the people that are wicked, you see. But yeah, that's what's coming, you know. So with that being said, Lord's willing, I pray this video be edifying. Just something quick through the spirit. To the next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect. Shalom.